MSMF Radio. Music. One language. Welcome back. This is Carol Jones with MSMF Radio. I'm thrilled today because I'm sitting next to the band Flirting with Sincerity. How are you guys?
Great. Pretty good.
I have a question for you guys before we get too far into the interview. Where did you guys come up with the name of your band, Flirting with Sincerity?
We got the idea from a book series called Flirting with the Monster. And we got it from the original definition of the word flirting, which means to toy with. And so the idea is we're toying with the idea for the first time with being sincere.
Right. I like that. I like that a lot. And I know also you guys are all dressed up today. You look super duper nice with the shirts and ties and the suspenders. I love it. Is fashion something that's really important to you guys?
I think so.
Are you inspired by anybody, or what's the reception you get when you walk into venues and you're all dressed up?
Well, I got the idea. I had this old poster of Green Day. That was like my first band that I really loved. And I thought that was so cool because they were so punk and they, dressed really nice. And our favorite band, Panic at the Disco, does it too.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and it's, I don't know, it's good because when we walk into, a gig to play, it's we look very different from your usual crowd there.
That's cool. So not only do you guys sound cool, but you look cool. So
yeah.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Do you guys, so fashion is important to you. How do you stay fresh? Do you just kind of, whatever, moves you, whatever you're into? Or is shirts and ties and black and white?
Yeah, that's we stick around to that. One of us always wears a bow tie or a vest to a show. That's always a consistency of it.
I like that. It's kind of like the Janelle Monáe, only the black and white. I love it. I love it. So, tell me about being a Mississippian. Performing in and around Mississippi. Tell me about where you were born and raised and how that influenced your sound.
I'm gonna let Bradley answer that one.
Oh,
I think he just tossed it to you.
Oh, goodness. Growing up in Mississippi, actually, I didn't start off how you would figure, like, a lot of musicians in this area would with, like, country music, maybe even blues, like Taylor did here. But I actually started off with heavy metal.
Okay.
And it's kind of weird how that works because a lot of bands around here are heavy metal. It seems to be more geared towards heavy metal than it is country or blues music, I guess, because people figure they can't make it in that genre. But I don't know. That's how I personally got my start. I started really heavy and really fast. And
did you play in school or just like a garage band, like with your friends?
I actually just started playing like by myself, and I was in a few quote-unquote bands before, but like nothing ever happened. This is my first real band that I've actually started playing venues and and yeah.
How about you?
I played a little bit. I went to a private school, and so we thought we were so cool. We all played guitar, no percussion, no nothing, and it was always a competition with one of the guys on who was the lead singer. And but we thought we were so cool, and we wrote songs about how much we loved our grandparents. And we were really edgy. But yeah, we actually played at our 8th grade celebration, graduation, whatever. So that was really cool. That was the first time playing formally in front of a big crowd.
That's fun. How about you?
Well, when I started off with music, I started off in the school band, and I felt I shouldn't just stick with brass instrument, trombone. I always had this love for string instruments. So at first I tried learning guitar, but it seemed like it didn't fit me. It didn't fit my personality. So I was like, well, bass guitar has this deep, dark, full sound that accompanies the rest of the band. So I asked a teacher what he thought about me playing bass, and he said, "You do what you love. If you feel like you love to play the bass, then go at it and learn." So my church, the church bassist, I asked him, "Could you teach me?" And he said, "Sure, why not?" So at first he just started teaching me regular techniques, and this is the E string, this is the A string. And he started teaching me fingerings, and then when I got my first bass, he started teaching me these different techniques and scales. You can play around with, if you get a key, you can play around with it and improvise. So it helped me a lot. And ever since I joined Flirting with Sincerity, I've felt almost like a family with these two guys, two guys, because we always have a say in what we do, and we never really bicker about anything. If someone says something, and the other guy was like, "Oh, that's a great idea. I don't know. I didn't think about that." So we always have this way of working together.
That's really cool.
Thanks, babe.
Thanks, babe. Before I forget, I want to get you guys to introduce yourselves and what you play.
Okay. I'm Taylor, and I play the guitar and sing.
I'm Bradley. I play the drums.
I'm Tony. I play the bass.
Awesome. So how did you guys find each other? I mean, because it can be hard to find bandmates that you really mesh well together. How did you guys find each other?
I was in theater for a while, my school theater.
Okay.
And Bradley came in the theater one day. He was in theater for the last semester of his senior year, so it was like just by chance that we really ran into each other, because I'd never seen him ever before, heard of him, nothing. And then he just rolled in one day, and I found out he played the drums, and I played around with him, and something just clicked. I mean, it was just playing covers of other songs that we just barely knew. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. But those moments where it did, it was like magic.
Wow.
And it was just, there was a chemistry. We always kind of knew what the other was thinking, and it was beautiful. And Tony, I always went to church with, and I was in Starbucks one day with my girlfriend, and she was like, "Hey, doesn't he go to your church?" And I said, "Yeah, I think he does." And I'd been looking for a bassist, and I said, "Hey, you should come play with us one time." And then Tony came into the picture, and it just clicked. I mean, he took our stuff that we'd already laid out how we wanted it, and he made it his own. He changed it, and never even asked if it was okay, but he did it, and it was beautiful. It was better.
Wow, that's impressive. I want to talk about some of your music. Raina. Can we talk about Raina?
Yeah.
What inspired that? I have an idea, but I want you to tell me.
It's a girl, and it was all about, like, a lot of our previous songs had been written a lot about, like, sadness and heartbreak, but it was at the same time a lot of fun sounding stuff about how but that's okay, because I can still have my fun and everything. And she told me one day, like, I'm worried that with everything going so great, what if you can't, write all your sad but upbeat music anymore? And Raina was kind of my comeback to that argument by saying, hey, I can write another song. And it's all about saying you're so much more to me than just a song for my band. Basically, I'm more concerned about my happiness than I am about just writing a good song.
Awesome.
And it's a tribute to her.
I love that. How did she like it?
She loved it.
Did she love it?
Yeah, she really liked it.
I'm so glad. That's good. And I know you told me earlier that you wrote Circus of Delight. Tell me how that came to be.
Oh, good Lord. This was actually, it spawned out of a breakup that I had. And yeah, that's how we get a lot of us. Well, not necessarily just from breakups. He's written most of our songs, but this song I felt inspired to do because she broke my heart, and she pretty much just said that she couldn't deal with anything right now. She couldn't deal with being with anyone. But as soon as she did that, she was looking for other people. So one of the lines that's my favorite in the song is, "You cast me out and pray for love. Apparently I'm not enough." And that sounds sad,
but it rhymes.
Yeah.
It does rhyme, and that's the key.
And that's how
rhymes.
we wrote our song. He was sad, and he made it rhyme.
Well, it's a beautiful song. I remember watching you guys perform that. Your audition for the showcases, so it was really, really, I was very impressed by that right away.
I'm jealous. I wish I wrote that one. It's my favorite.
Tell me about your songwriting process. What do you do?
It's kind of like a lot of people write their lyrics and then music, and we kind of, I don't know, we do a lot. Sometimes we'll just have a beat, and then we'll say, well, what music would go with that? Or we'll have just a little riff, and it's almost like we take little puzzle pieces. Like we first get the first piece, and then we build a puzzle around it. Like it's just, we start from a small point that most people don't think is anything, like, oh, that's a clever rhyme, and then we form a whole song around it. Like just,
wow.
Yeah.
Something someone would think it's obscure, but it's not so much to
Yeah,
you
and
guys.
it's normally really bad, the first thing we come up with. And then we, adjust, we always switch it around, adjust it, make it right side up.
That's right. Is there a song that you've written that you're most proud of to date?
Well, I think Circus of Delight's my favorite. That's, quite honestly, that's my favorite. I'm really proud of that one.
Oh, that's really nice. You're supporting your bandmate. That's really cool. That's so cool.
It's not for him. It's selfish. I like it selfishly.
Now, I know you guys play instruments. When did you guys start playing? Did you start young or?
I personally started at the age of 7 with drums, but I got away from it because it's the kind of thing like, who wants to sit down the entire rock concert? I mean, like, you want to be running around, you want to have a good time, which I've kind of learned that you don't have to be running around to have a good time, and I think I get a lot of compliments that I'm lively at shows. And that's one thing I really enjoy, is putting on a show, and it's kind of hard to believe that it all started at the age of 7. Like, I just saw it and I'm like, yeah, I want to hit stuff, and it turned into me being a drummer.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. How about you guys? When did you guys start playing?
I started playing, it's supposed to be my second year playing bass actually, but I've sat down and practiced and trying to make myself better than what I was the day before. So it's a work in progress, because you never stop learning music. There's always more to what you can learn. So when I started, I just started with simple scales and church songs, and then, like Taylor said, Panic at the Disco is one of my favorite bands also, and I love their music. I love how they play the music, and I've trained my ear to, whenever I hear a song, I just pick up the bass line just like that. Like, I can hear the bass part in the music. I can hear it. I cancel out everything else. I just listen to the bass part, and it's the way my ears are trained, since I've trained them like that. So I feel the bass has certain rhythm that has drives the music on. So learning the bass was a pretty good idea for me.
That's pretty amazing, I tell you. And you, Taylor?
What was the question? I completely forgot.
That's okay. That's okay. When did you start playing?
When did I start playing? It was 5th grade, and my dad always played guitar, and he wasn't good. He's still really bad, but I mean, it's my dad.
Shout out to Dad.
Yeah, sorry, but he was. But I always look. You look at your dad, and just everything he does is so cool. And I looked at my dad, and just because he could play a few chords, my dad was the coolest thing, in the world. Yeah. And I wanted to play guitar because I wanted to be like my dad. And so in 5th grade, I finally got a guitar, and I remember my parents were really, I didn't think it was anything, but I found out I had an ear when I picked out Across the Universe by the Beatles on the guitar, and I was just playing one, chord. But it was like that moment where I said, wow, it's like this really comes kind of naturally to me. I should develop this. And so from 5th grade on, I was pretty dedicated to guitar, and then eventually writing, and it all spawned from that. My dad in 5th grade.
That's really cool. So, is your family really supportive of what you guys are doing and your musical aspirations?
Mine is. Yeah, they are. And I'm really grateful for that.
I'm really glad too. How about you guys? Do your parents know what you're doing? Are they supportive of what you're doing?
My parents are. When I ask my mom, she says, if it's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. Just be careful. Yeah. And don't do stupid stuff. So I said, thanks. Because, not many parents like their kids, when they say, oh, I'm going to be in the band, they're like, oh, no. School, study, college, life. And mom was like, no, if you feel like you want to do that, go ahead. Just remember, don't leave studying behind, You can be in the band, just balance out being in the band and school. So I said, don't worry, I will. And she still supports me. She's at every concert, no matter how late or how far it is, she'll be at that concert.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really nice. So you guys are youngish. Are you guys in school?
Me and Tony are. Bradley's the adult.
Oh, really? You show everybody how to stay cool, huh?
Yeah.
Sometimes we get out of line. You know, he has to correct us.
Well, I'm sure it works out very well. So, how do you guys manage to stay so focused on your career and, you know, scheduling, you know, dates to perform? How do you balance that and your family and friends and relationships?
I don't know. At times it's like things just work, and you don't really know why they work or how they work. You don't, you know, sit down and really wonder about it. But it just, we find time, I think, is the thing. I think what it comes down to is we all have the same goal, and because we want the same things, we're able to make the same sacrifices. And you know, we understand our priorities, but we always make time for music. And I think music's a big priority for all of us.
Definitely.
Now, I know that you guys performed a few weeks back at the Brick Oven.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me about that. How do you guys like performing live?
Performing live is the best. It's always better to me than just, you know, playing in a studio, because you have that element of perfection, but at live, when you're in front of people, I always like to sing the song a little different or play in a different beat, you know, just because that live, no matter how big you are or how good you think you are, that live moment is what someone's going to remember of you. It's that one-on-one time. And so for me, I take that and I just make it something that's memorable. I want them to say, I remember that band for anything, something. And I want it to be better than just, you know, oh, it sounds really great on the CD. I want it to be like, wow, this was different. You know, he goofed off. You could tell he was having a good time.
Right.
I want that good time to be contagious.
Yeah, I know the first time I saw you guys, I was thinking to myself, it almost reminded me of like Cirque du Soleil, because it was very, no, not like in a jokey way at all, but it was like theatrical, and it was wonderful. It was memorable. It wasn't like you guys just were reading like the lyrics off of a paper. It was like you guys were performing for us. It was a show.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm raising my hand here.
Okay.
But that's actually one thing that I talked to Taylor here ever since we began. Yeah, hey Taylor. Ever since we began, I told him that I really wanted to be theatrical coming into it, be a big band, and
we came from theater. I mean,
well, yeah, we came from theater, but I mean, I think theater actually helped us with that. Helped us with our showsmanship and helped us to not be afraid in front of a crowd. And even, I think it might be too far to say that we cultivate a crowd, but I mean, I like to think that we actually do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, I like that. I hope you guys take that, and run with it, because I remember that. Like, I remember, like, and I was like, these guys they're doing something extra special. I mean, this is not just your average, you know, band or punk band or whatever. This is cool. Thanks. So with that, being that you guys have a theater background, do you feel like that helps you guys with like nervousness with performing live?
Definitely,
yeah.
The coolest thing I think that theater taught us was, you know, a lot of times when people get on a stage, they try to make themselves small. They're always about, you know, let me just, you know, get through this little riff, get through this little lyric, and maybe no one will notice what a, you know, fool I am. And and what theater taught us was be as big and crazy as you can, because people don't look at you as, oh, he's cool, he doesn't try. When you're on a stage and you put that spotlight on yourself, people want to see, you know, they'll much rather see a maniac than somebody that's just, you know, you have to be entertaining. It's all about the entertainment. Even if you look crazy, do it on purpose, you know?
It's kind of like some of those, I don't know if you guys remember the Super Bowl performance when Beyonce performed, and she's a wonderful performer. She's awesome, but somebody somewhere had taken like all the little faces and little things she had done, but she goes hard in the performances, and I think that's important for bands. You know, no matter if you think you look like a maniac, you don't. Keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome. So how much do you guys practice to stay, you know, tight and ready?
Well, we try for once a week, but towards the summer, I think we're going to start practicing a lot more. We really our practices are actually very short. Normally, it's once a week and just a few hours, but we tend to get a lot done. We're very fast learners. I think I'm the slowest, and I still consider myself a fast learner.
Okay.
I'm horrible with lyrics, but once I get them, they're there. but yeah, we're really quick learners, so we really just drill ourselves through the practice, you know, and just get that as much as we can that time, because we don't know when we're going to be able to practice next, you know, so.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about Newlywed Acquaintances. Is that one of your favorite songs to perform?
Oh, wow.
That's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I love playing Newlywed Acquaintances. I'll let Tony talk about that. Tony hasn't talked about a song.
Newlywed was actually the first song I learned when I joined the band.
Mm-hmm.
It was simple, but yet it had power to it.
Mm-hmm.
It sent some message. So when I learned that song, it was my favorite because, you know, it's the first song I learned. So it's my favorite song is Newlywed Acquaintances. But then when Bradley brought up Circus of the Light, I was like, all right, this hands down is my favorite.
Yeah.
So Newlywed is a mile marker for me because, you know, it was the first song I learned for the band. So I'm always going to remember that. I still remember when Taylor was in the room with me. He was like, all right, first note is this note. Now go at it. So
Now, who wrote that one?
I did.
You did. Now, what inspired that song?
What inspired Newlywed? I'm sorry, this is like one of our oldest.
That's okay. I have time.
Newlywed Acquaintances was inspired by, like, the title. Newlywed Acquaintances is all just, you know, a metaphor for, you know, you're newlywed. It's when you first, you meet, like, someone that you're interested in, romantically, and it's like, you're, like, almost like newlyweds. Like, everything's just giggly, and you want to share everything. It's so wonderful. And then there's that other side of it where you're just acquaintances. You don't really know that person. There's a whole other side to them that you don't understand. And it's all about kind of, you know, you just know that they make you feel good, but is it worth it? Is it worth that risk? And it's all about, you know, thinking back to times like that and everything. Thinking back to simpler times.
That's really neat. For you guys to be, and I mean this in the most positive way, for you guys to be so young, these are like complex, like, relationship topics you guys are talking about. Like, what in the world? Like, newlywed acquaintances? I mean, that's kind of amazing. Like, where do you guys get all this depth and fortitude from?
It's mainly Taylor. He
like, nobody's watching, like, soap operas or anything. Like, what's going on?
I actually grew up watching, like, soap operas.
Me too. Give me that.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
Secrets out.
So, yeah.
I watched a lot of General Hospital, and I was really mad when they took all my children off the air.
It may just come from, quite honestly, the theatrical side of things. Just, I remember there's a few songs that I'd, like, I'll stretch them a bit, and then it's like make it just, it's a painting, you know what I mean? You start out small, like I said, you start out really small, and then you expand with that. And I just thought of one little time, and it grows into a whole song explaining, you know, different emotions. That's the whole point of really all of this is, it's theatrical, but I want it to not just sound cool, but like evoke an emotion. I want people to hear the words with the tune that they're sung and feel something. Oh, whatever it is, I don't care what it is, but if you feel something, that's cool. I love that.
That is cool. That is cool. I want to revisit the theatrics for a little bit.
Okay.
Do you prefer performing live or, like, being in the studio? I know you already talked about the theatrics, but there is something to be loved and cherished about studio time, the perfecting of the craft. Tell me about that a little bit.
I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
The way you're looking at me. Okay. We have not had the full studio experience. Whenever we got in there, it was more of a rush. It's like, let's get all this stuff done in this amount of time because we're paying for this stuff and we got to get it out there. So for right now, at least for me, I love performing live, and especially behind my drum set. Whenever we play live and I'm behind my kit, I wouldn't rather be anywhere else. Really? And it's the most magical feeling, really. I absolutely love it.
Do you guys feel the same way?
Yes. Absolutely.
That's really cool. I know, tell me a little bit about the time that you were in the studio. Tell me about it.
Oh, okay. We went to go record with this guy that Taylor...
It was an old guitar teacher's friend. It was some, you know, strange connection.
Well, we went to record with him, and it was like, it was a home studio. It was in his garage, and it was a really nice setup. Not as nice as the one here, but it was actually a
Shout out to Infused Studios.
Oh, yeah. But it was nice. I mean, but it was just it wasn't comfortable. I mean, not necessarily even comfortable.
The chairs didn't recline. His carpet was old.
No.
Not that kind.
Like everything felt rushed. It didn't really feel like we really got to perfect and work on it as I personally would have liked.
Right.
And though our recordings do sound decent, they're nothing really to swoon over, if you will.
I think the real cool thing about our record, if I can just say something somewhat positive, is because I agree with him for the most part. The one cool thing about recording is no matter what you record, like how sloppily done it is, when you listen to it back, it's almost like a second wind. Like you get inspired a whole second time of, what if, what if we, because we're in the band, what if we, and I take myself out of it when I listen, but
okay.
what if we added this into it, this little sound effect, just this little, quirky thing in there, and I think it's cool, because, it's like, you're fixated on just so close painting it out, and then you take a step back, and you're like, what if I did this over here, and it's cool to listen to your stuff, no matter how crappy it is, to get an idea.
Right. Well, it's your baby, and I know I talk to a lot of musicians, and everyone says, my songs is my baby, and I'm giving it to you, and you're the producer or the person that you're recording with, and I want you to do something, take care of it the way I would take care of it, as some people have put it. So it's okay to be selective and very, very picky about where you record. That's okay. So are there any musicians that inspire you guys? I know you like Panic.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I have two of just huge idols. These are like my heroes of my life, and that is Jim Morrison from The Doors. Just for his performance alone, the way he pulls audiences and just captivates them, and also Steven Tyler. Okay, I love Steven Tyler.
He's got the theatrics too.
That's exactly. He's got the theatrics, and he's and I also love that he never sings out of key. That's a big thing for me. Even though he's getting up there in age, he's
still important to him. That's right. And you, sir?
Well, of course, Panic at the Disco. Yeah. I am.
He's the real fan.
Yeah, It's actually sad how into Panic at the Disco I really am.
That's okay.
Like, their lead singer, he is my main idol, and it's not even necessarily. Don't laugh at me. He's a good guy. It's not even necessarily because he's the lead singer. It's really because he is actually a genuinely great person, and I feel like that's rare to come by.
It is.
Especially in the music industry, because whenever I feel whenever people get big, they just kind of tend to I made it, I do what I want. So but there's Panic at the Disco, My Chemical Romance, that whole scene pretty much. They're my main inspiration.
That's really cool. And you, Tony?
Oh, no Snow Bus.
Hey, they're good.
I do have my Mexican
Santana.
Yeah.
Those are good people.
They are. For playing wise, what inspired me was the bassist at church, but band wise, just I want to be like him when I grow up. Of course, Panic, but Green Day, they have something in their song that gets you almost addicted to it. You want to listen to that song over and over again, and so their music really inspired me to want to play that certain type of way. So whenever I play, I make sure to put in some of that spice into my playing, and some of this spice into my playing, and some my own some hot sauce, some Valentina and stuff.
It's your Latin blood, Tony.
That's all right. Don't change a thing. So, what could I find on your playlist right now? Your current hottest joints, that you are streaming right now.
You mean like places we're playing or?
No, I want to know what's like if I scroll through your playlist, what are you guys listening to right now?
Oh, right now. What was I last listening to? You guys go. I'm not ready to order.
You can go.
Oh,
first.
okay.
Like you assume they are.
Let me check.
Everybody get their phones.
I want
out.
to give you the best accurate
Okay.
answer.
Pierce the Veil, Never
Ooh,
Shall
that's it,
Never,
of course.
Pack of Disco, Neon Trees,
Oh.
Green Day,
Yes.
and a Mexican singer called Vicente Fernandez. But those
Classic.
are, top on my list right now that I listen to,
Cool.
especially in the car. When you're in the car and you're listening to Pierce the Veil, it gives you a rush.
Gets you going.
Yeah.
Just speeding.
It's cool.
No.
And you, sir?
Actually-
Don't speed.
Actually, now that I think about it, I've been listening to older stuff like Dean Martin.
Oh, really?
And there's
Well, your style's kind of classic that way. I could see
yeah.
that. I could see
thanks.
that.
And there's actually this one tango that I've been listening to. If I can find it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by Alfred Haus. I think that's how you.
Is he German?
I believe. I suppose.
Okay.
Okay.
It's called Hernando's Hideaway. It's a beautiful tango.
Is it?
And
Oh, that's so neat.
and also where is it? Oh my god.
They're actually scrolling through their phones right
Yes.
now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, you forgot my library on there.
I've got time.
Yeah.
I want to hear it all.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't rush.
Where is this? Oh yeah. Blackstreet, No Diggity. I've been listening
What?
to that.
He has been. Yeah,
Like
we
the way
listened
you
to.
work it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
he was playing that on the way here. We were rocking out
I
to that.
love it.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That
I
is a
forgot
good
about that
song.
one.
I love that song. It's a great song. And you, sir?
Okay, my two shouldn't reflect on me, but that's what my most recent. I have two music apps.
Mhm.
One is Marty Robbins, a white sports coat and a pink carnation.
All right.
Yeah,
Can't go wrong with that.
and Infant Sorrow from Get Him to the Greek, the movie, with Russell Brand.
Oh, I think I know.
Yeah, Furry Walls, Just Say Yes. It's the soundtrack to a movie, but it's a movie created band, and
You guys are so cool.
I like
I
them.
can't say I've ever met anybody like any one of you. This is pretty cool. So tell me, how do you guys stay motivated? I mean, you guys are so fun, and I mean, I just had a great time just going through your phones. How do you guys stay motivated? How do you guys stay motivated to keep, making
meet the
music? Meet the who?
Meet the ex.
Tell us about the ex.
She interviewed me and my friends a lot too, and liked to go through my phone. So there's a lot of similarities there.
Oh.
More of an interrogation. If you
Yeah,
will.
I've had practice for
Yeah.
this interview
Yeah.
through dating.
Well, that's really cool. That's cool. Well, practice is practice. So tell me, how do you guys stay motivated? Like I know, just to keep making music and to keep performing. I mean, does it ever seem tedious or tiresome?
It can, actually, if I'm being completely honest.
Yes.
I don't get tired of it, but I do at the same time. Like, if you were to just ask me, hey, are you getting tired? No. Heck no. But if I'm being honest, sometimes it's like we'll be in practice and I'll say, guys, I'm kind of bored. Let's play this. Like, we'll just play something fun and try to get it, back. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, that's just, that's how things work. But for me, and I know this works for Bradley too, I can't really speak for Tony, I'm not sure, but I know Bradley and I watch actually interviews of like our favorite bands.
Oh, you do.
And there's some just, they ask them, what does it mean to you to, such and such, just whatever. And just to hear, I guess that passion that we have for it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always trying to tell people how much I love it and what just passion there is for it. And so to hear, your favorite bands and all these, rock star celebrities talk about it and you realize they get it. They're, they made it and they thought about it the same way I did. Like, that's so cool. And that's what motivates me, honestly, is knowing there's people out there, not just my favorite bands, I mean, that makes it cool, but that care and know what it's like to love music so much. That's how I stay motivated then.
That's really cool. How about you?
Honestly, I've kind of been pulled away from well, not necessarily pulled away. It's like for the past few weeks, I'd been tied up at my job.
Yeah.
And been working too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And typically we practice on Wednesdays, and they have me working doubles every Wednesday. And I was going crazy. I missed it so much. And like whenever I got back, I would like play covers and stuff, but it wasn't our music. It wasn't our thing. Mm-hmm. And it was like a little part of me was dying. And I guess, and that seems kind of recent. I've always known what music meant to me, but that kind of reinforced it. It really helped me realize that, wow, I can't live without music.
Aww. Why would you want to even?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's actually a quote. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's on my Instagram. But well, his name is on my Instagram. Okay. But
pull that up so that we can credit him.
Yes.
That'd be good.
Without music, life would be a mistake. By Friedrich, and I still don't. Friedrich.
It is Friedrich.
Friedrich, and I can't pronounce that.
How'd you say that?
Nietzsche.
I
know I'm supposed to remember that. My goodness, all those philosophy classes I took in.
It's a good
Mr.
quote.
Peter, tell us, enlighten us, the youthful generation. Nietzsche, isn't it?
Nietzsche.
There we go. I knew I remember.
You knew. You didn't say anything.
My college Mr. Peter Whittam, founder, creator of the Mississippi Music Foundation.
Silent
Thank you.
And all-knowing.
Silent and all-knowing. Damn, I know my philosophy professor in college is going to be like, what the? You don't remember that? But that's awesome. And you, sir, motivation.
Motivation for the band, like for me and the band, it's knowing that all the bands out there started like us. They started like just friends or acquaintances that became friends, and now they're up there. Mm-hmm. Now they're having the blast of a life. They're having fun and with the people they love. Mm-hmm. So just knowing that we can be like them, we just have to work for it. There's a quote that I go to is, "Don't wait for tomorrow on what you can do today." Mm-hmm. So whenever I'm practicing with them, I always try to give them my all that day instead of saying, "Well, I'm having a bad day today. I'm just gonna give it, half my time today, and next week I'll give it my full." No, I'll always give it my all that one practice we have that week. Mm-hmm. Sometimes two, and just knowing that if we actually want it, we actually fight for it and work for it, we can actually be up there with our idols. So
that's right.
It motivates me to keep going. You get tired of it sometimes, but whenever you're performing for the audience, small gigs that we have now, and when you see people coming to see you, you feel like, oh well, this is fun. This really gives you this drive to keep doing it. So it motivates me to keep on going.
That's really cool. Tell me about your fans. I mean, you guys are talking about your performances. Are you guys starting to get really, really build that close connection with your fan base? What?
We are getting fans. It's a work in progress.
I mean, quite honestly, we show up to our shows. What's the most tickets we sold at the New Days? That was our biggest show.
40.
Was it 40? I thought it was like 50 or.
I thought it was
60
like
something. Yeah, 60 something.
I saw 40.
And that was great. We sold. It was mainly to our family. We have a lot of family.
You guys are
and family and friends, and then the occasional. We have fans that aren't friends that just saw us at our show and actually came to the next show. Mm-hmm. It's just right now they're just. I don't know a lot about them. I know there's just a few girls that were like, "Oh, you sang that to your girlfriend. That was really sweet." Mm-hmm. And then they follow me on Instagram, and I guess that's a fan. Mm-hmm. I don't know
that's
what a fan.
I
don't know what a fan is.
That's a fan.
It just seemed too easy. It didn't.
Well, that's pretty impressive.
We got like 6 of them, I guess. It's a solid 6. I know they're there for life. So.
Solid 6.
I'd actually like to think that we have more, but. I feel like there's always going to be those fans that say, yeah, I'm a fan of them, but they never put in any effort to go to any of the shows. We
probably got like 1 million lazy fans. We're probably already huge, but you just wouldn't know because they don't. They
don't talk about us.
Yeah. You're huge in China right now.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah. That's really cool.
So the 6 million in China, and then the six overly enthusiastic. little girls that came to our shows.
Well, that's really cool. Since we know that your fans are super important to you guys right now, I'd love to know how you guys define success. Where would you like to see yourselves in, 10 plus years or so?
That's a hard.
Let's go this way. I want to go last. Let's go this way down the line.
Uh,
I don't know.
Success. For me, success would be doing something with people I love, Taylor and Bradley, just doing something big with them, such as performing in front, for me, Madison Square Garden, just up there with
That's a perfect answer.
us three, just, us three out there and just thinking back, before the show, just being backstage. Wow, we started off at Taylor's house, in his room practicing, and now Madison Square Garden, that's success for me. That's getting to where that's setting a goal for you and accomplishing a goal and going over that goal. That's success for me, and doing it with people you love to be with.
That's awesome. That's a tangible goal. Keep shooting for that. And you, sir?
Wow, success for me. I don't care. Honestly, Madison Square Garden would be great, but I honestly wouldn't care where it would be. If whether it be like an amphitheater or just like a little crap stage, if we had people like watching us and admiring us, and what I'm dying for right now is people to sing our songs back to us.
That's a perfect answer.
Yay.
When that day comes, that's when I feel like I would have made it with these guys, and I'm not gonna make it with anyone else. It's gonna be them or no one. So.
That's right. That's awesome.
He's very committed. He's
That's good. That's a good bandmate. That was a great answer.
Oh, thank you.
It's very good.
I promise I won't cheat on you guys.
Early on, he got a recruitment from another band, and I got jealous.
Oh, see, again with these complex adult relationship issues that are going on in this group.
To be honest, it's very much like a relationship. I mean, it's there's a lot of compromising and sacrifices and everything. We don't really fight. I think we fought one time over how we would finish Newlywed one time. And it wasn't even mean. It was like, I mean, if you don't want to, it was. Did you
guys have like a safe word or anything?
No. It was just we disagreed on how to do one thing, and then it was me against them really, and I eventually gave in because I was like, so many people just told me I was wrong. So it's like, okay, no, it's fine. I mean, I care about what other people think.
Yeah.
I mean, if people receive it better that way, then that's what I want to be putting out, and that's
absolutely.
I'm pleased.
Okay, well, since you said that, I also want to be clear that, like, I think, I'm positive he means within the band. Whatever we're saying within the band, I don't think he means, like, as far as, like, outside the band.
Right.
Whatever they want us to do,
then
we'll do that to please them. We're, not necessarily, we're, like, people pleasers, but we do it because we want to, how we want to.
Right.
And because we love doing it that way, and I think people are pleased to see that.
Right,
So.
and there's a profound difference there from what you've explained. That is true. There's a difference when you're doing it with a purpose. Yep, so I like that. Good for you. And your answer, don't try and get out of the answer. I know you're trying to shift and toss.
Okay.
How do you define success?
Success, I don't know. I don't want to believe in success in the sense that I don't want to feel ever satisfied. Like, I know that right now I have the immediate goal of getting, recording time and getting a good, solid copy of our music. And I want to set short-term goals. I mean, I want to know in the general direction that I want to go, but I don't want to ever have a moment where I'll be satisfied, because I don't ever want to be satisfied. I want that thirst always to be there. And I think that it's just like, even now, this is a form of success for me, to be here and have someone actually asking us questions, just to be answering questions about our music is cool to me. Like, that's why would anybody care? No one should care, and someone does, and that's super cool.
Well, it's awesome. I'm so glad I can be a part of your coolness. I feel cooler already.
You're part of the success for today. That's
awesome.
Success.
That's awesome.
Success.
Well, I have one last question for you. This
Okay.
is the big one. The big
All right.
one. Why do you guys want to be a featured artist on MSMF Radio?
Quite honestly, this is gonna sound horrible just referencing my last answer, but again, another form of success, networking, being a part of something larger than just us in, my garage or up in my room. The fact that we're a part of something bigger, and, with this we can meet new people, make connections, get new gigs. I mean, even, who knows?
That's right.
And I feel it's good in anything, not just music, in anything in life, to just pursue opportunity at all times. I mean, if you have nothing to lose, why wouldn't you, go after it? And I just think really this would be great for networking purposes and just really being a part of something.
Awesome. You are so mature. My goodness.
I fake it. I'm a horrible person.
Jesus.
You might have to edit that out. You're not a horrible person. You're awesome. And you, young man.
I feel like he was saying. I mean, it's like also like he was saying. I hate to kind of reference someone else, but I mean,
It's okay.
I feel like it's all about networking, and it's all nowadays more so than ever. I feel like it's all about who you know, and if you're in the in crowd, and if you know the right people, then maybe you'll make it. But I feel like this gives us a chance to really get our sound out there.
That's
and
right.
I appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate you as well. And you, Tony, would you like to add anything?
This being able to be on the radio is you never know who's listening. You can't tell if someone important is listening to it, or just someone passed by a radio and heard it. You always have to take risks to get something done. So being on the radio there's like a possibility that someone out there is listening to this radio station, and they feel like they just the way we answer these questions, wonderful questions you ask,
Thank you.
the
Spent a lot of time on
the
them.
way we answer them, they're like, you know what? I think I feel like they have potential in them, that they really
He has
want.
a nice voice.
Yeah,
I bet he plays bass like nobody's business.
It's almost a form of success actually. Being on the radio, so it's have to take risk.
Yep, that's right.
To get stuff done, you have to take risk.
Risk is a part of life. Well, you guys, I'm so glad that you guys are a part of the Mississippi music scene, and you guys have the best sense of humor. I love you. You guys are one to watch. I can't wait to hear what comes from you guys, and thanks for coming in to chat with us.
No problem.
Thank you to our fans for tuning in. MSMF Radio, love music, love Mississippi. It's just that simple. Follow us on Twitter and look for us on Facebook. Thanks so much. Let's do this again soon.
Thank you.
And here we have Flirting with Sincerity performing Newlywed Acquaintances.
Keep on reminiscing to the times we've had. Too fast and a little too quick. I'm running my apologies, I hope one sticks. That led to your departure. nature, but I'll do the time for your crime that I have always fought for. I see wondrous stagings all around me, brought to life by their newly acquainted nature. Raise your glass, put your pen to paper. So fed up, I've had enough with love and your emotions, but it's such a shame, and you can blame the game you set in motion. I feel your emotions, tug my heartstrings, dressing down to meet your blended style of service. Hold your breath, 'cause it's certainly worth it. Keep on reminiscing to the times we've had. A little too fast and a little too quick. I'm running my apologies, I hope one sticks.
Awesome. Awesome, guys. That's perfect. I love it.
Thanks.
And are you guys going to perform one other piece before we go?
Yeah.
Right
You want to do Raina?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool.
All right, and here we have Flirting with Sincerity with Raina.
I'm sitting here wondering how you feel, and if your love is real. Wake me, 'cause I know I'm dreaming. And after all, I can't hold your hand. You're everything I am. Take away the imperfection. Well, take your time. Don't rush with your head. You'd be better off instead with me. If to share just one kiss could make you understand, you were so much more to me than just a song for my band. Yes, you're so much more to me. This could be our greatest opportunity, but it scares me how you're loving me, 'cause I might feel the same. Well, take your time. Don't rush with your head. You'd be better off instead with me. If to share just one kiss could make you understand, you were so much more to me than just a song for my friends. Yes, you're so much more to me.
Gorgeous. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
MSMF Radio. Music. One language.